Hello everybody and welcome to the June 2024 recap. It's going to be quite a bit shorter this time around because I've been kind of busy with a lot of stuff. So much stuff. So I don't have all that much to say. There's honestly not that much that I have to divulge here, like real world stuff and other living things and such. And I only have like 4 pieces of media that I want to share, so let's get on to those immediately. First piece of media I want to highlight is a little manga series that I started reading just very recently. And it's still being published quite a bit because the art style takes a long time to do, and it is rather like self-funded and it's pretty slow to publish and such, but it looks absolutely fantastic. And that is Ramia-Yana. It's very visually beautiful. It's like so freaking amazing and gorgeous. I would really recommend anybody who just wants to see some cool shit to just go and read it. There is a lot of nice little details to it. There's a lot of nice, like, good character moments and a lot of nice world building. Of course, we are here for the cool stuff, for the amazing artwork, for the really kick-ass moments and stuff like that. But I really do enjoy like the series wholeheartedly so far. It's only 15 chapters, but they are rather long chapters, and the art style, like, there's not that many panels per page, like often only one, and that's fine. The art style is like the selling point. It's gorgeous. So yeah, I have nothing much. I really would like to go and drop some money on this if I could. If only I could. But if anybody else is interested, you can just, wanted to highlight it, go read it. Then I want to talk about the games that I played this month. There's like 3 that I specifically want to highlight. And starting with the first one is a game called Sinner, A Sacrifice for Redemption, which I did quite a few years ago play for the first time, and I was quite enthralled with the idea, which is that it's a boss rush game, which, yeah, it's boss rush. I like boss rush games, and the game has a reverse leveling system, in a manner of speaking, in a way where when you engage a new boss, you have to give up something, which is always predetermined by the boss itself. Like, for example, you lose maybe some healing ability, maybe you lose some of your max health and stamina, maybe your shield breaks when your blocking blocks breaks, and there's like really interesting stuff, like you lose some consumables and stuff, some other aspects. So that's a really interesting, cool concept for the game. Then the other stuff around that precipice, or the principle, is something that supports the game quite well. The mechanics are, well, it's not a polished Souls-like in the way that the combat system works, with stamina and all that, dodge rolling, blocking, timing, memorization. It's not a very polished game, but it is really fun. The boss fights are all immaculately fun. They have really good patterns. They are all very unique. They all have unique mechanics. They are all like really phenomenally designed. There's not that many of them, but they are all like really exceptional, and they are very wildly different, and the developers did a very good job at differentiating each from one another. Now, I'm not exactly on the story-wise, I'm not that like sold on it. It's fine, it's serviceable, but it's mostly just a vehicle to drive the plot forward so that we get to more fights. And the non-linear structure of the game is something that makes it also kind of interesting to explore, that you have a lot of different options how you want to approach, like what aspects do you want to give up first. And that makes it really engaging. There is maybe some strategy, there's also some different endings, there's a few modes that are unlocked after the game. There's more to play here. There's like a boss rush mode, and there's some secret stuff that I didn't find. And there's a couple more, like definitely one more ending. I think there's like one hidden boss or something that I didn't have. And that's all very, very cool. And I very much think that I probably will go back and play this again just to get everything. The bosses it was easy, in a manner of speaking, that it didn't take me too long to beat any of the bosses. Like the hardest boss took me like 3 hours. But that's because I'm professionally inept at stuff. so to speak. But I found it really, really engaging. And if you want a unique take on a Souls-like genre and a boss rush game at that, yeah, can't go wrong with the game. It does have some clunkiness to it. The hitboxes are a little bit wonky. The mechanics aren't exactly fluid, or like as fluid as I would hope for them to be, but I got used to them very quickly. And I don't think it's like in any way poorly controllable. It's just something that takes getting used to. And once you get used to it, it's a real fun time. So yeah, highly recommended. The second game I want to highlight is something also that has been out for quite a while, but I also did try a long time ago, but I wanted to replay it, or rather start it from the beginning and finish like almost in one sitting. Not exactly, because the game takes quite a long while, and that is Hyperlight Drifter. I was aware of the main idea of the game, which is, to put it simply, it's an old school Zelda-like, in the way that you adventure in the world, find secrets and fight bosses. And that does, to a certain extent, describe almost the majority of the game. Not exactly. There's more skills that you get, more equipment that you get, and there's a lot of hidden secrets. And what really made the game for me, the exploration is built around the player's perception and the way that you intuit where secrets are hidden. If you pay enough attention, like there's a lot of secrets that are very specifically marked with a certain mark on the ground, which, yeah, that makes it obvious that there's a secret. But not every secret is something that you can find in that way. And a lot of the areas are hidden and you have to come there back later. And there's so very many cool things that are hidden in the world. The world building, of course, without words, is phenomenal. It's a very nice story that doesn't use any words. All the communication is done with visuals instead of words. The world building is immaculate. The world is alive and breathing, and it's beautiful, and the pixel art is so gorgeous, and the different environments just make my mind race with possibilities and theories and interpretations, and just it is a beautiful world. It's kind of funny to say, but this might be one of the most beautiful games I've played, which is maybe a little bit weird for a pixel art game, but it's handcrafted with love and passion, and that makes it so engaging for me to just explore the world. Of course, there's a lot of combat, there's a lot of bosses, there's a lot of areas, combat areas and stuff like that, which, yeah, there's a lot of different combat challenges which make the game constantly engaging, but in different manners of engagement, in the way that there's sometimes kind of like platforming challenges and puzzle challenges, and then there's combat challenges, and they mix and match very frequently in the way that your mind is constantly engaged, but you never get exhausted with any single aspect of the game. And that's fantastic. There's so much more that I could have, and I want to, and I will explore in the game. There's a lot more secrets that I but like I feel the urge to find. And the main combat itself is really good, like really freaking good. It's really rather challenging in the way that you just die very quickly. But you respawn in the like very close by always, which makes it so that it is difficult without being punishing, and that makes it so much fun. Now, some of the bosses are also maybe, let's call it a little bit too easy, but none of the bosses were like a pushover. Like, I think I died to every single boss, which, yeah, like I said, professionally inept. But that just makes the game good, in my opinion. I should struggle to beat the game, at least a little bit. And it still makes me more driven to go back and play it again and see everything that I missed and like take more notes and stuff like that. It's a fantastic game. If you want like a Zelda-like, like an old school Zelda-like, top-down hack and slash exploration, puzzle-based action game, really an adventure game in the most purest sense, I would really recommend Hyper Life Drifter. It's really fun. It's really good. It's really quite touching at moments, and the world is just so detailed that I don't think I've been engaged with a game in this manner in... Well, I did play Disco Elysium quite a while ago, but that, disregarding that. Yeah, so yeah, it's really good. It's really good. This game really high, like rocketed to the top of my list quite a bit, and that's honestly not that surprising. I've always liked Zelda games, so yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. And then I want to speak of the final game that I played, or the final game that I completed, because I of course play a crap ton of games. But specifically, I played a Return of the Obra Dinn, a game that received enormous accolades from the indie gaming market, and very deservedly so. It is a very unique, a very striking puzzle game, or mystery, or detective game. It's like a combination of those genres. Genres are sometimes rather useless. Now, of course, I'm not gonna be a contrarian here. The game is fantastic. If you want like a detective game, an unfolding narrative before your eyes, Return of the Obra Dinn is fantastic for that. I really enjoyed piecing together the fates of the crewmates, and I did get a perfect clear on that, so a lot of the guesses, or a lot of the fates are something that you have to do, just like very interesting jumps to conclusions which you really don't have a justification for, but you make out of certain like educated guesses, so to speak. And every time you get 3 correct, their fates are kind of like sealed or noted down that they are perfect. And I really like that, because that makes it so that you never can be completely certain until they are like locked in. And that makes it so that you can't exactly do a lot of guesswork. Like, there's a lot of options in the game, and a lot of it is something that you can't exactly... You have to make really educated guesses. And this, like, dopamine rush when you get 3 correct is unparalleled. It's really surprising that you could get so much satisfaction and enjoyment just by making little notes and they are correct and you hear ding. It's really unique, and I really enjoyed it. There are some aspects which could have been better, I feel, but I'm not exactly sure how to verbalize that. Like, some moments were, or some fates were something where it was very difficult to ascertain what exactly was the cause of death, and that's because the visuals were just too busy, in a manner of speaking. And sometimes, like, unfortunately, a lot of fates are something where it's kinda very obvious, or like majority of them even, are very obvious what exactly happened. But some of them are something where I had to go through trial and error a lot of options. And that way I had to actually do with a lot of combinations as well. But I think that's fine. Now, as a mystery itself, it's really kind of cool in the way that you have to work backwards from the destination to what exactly happened by going back each of the fates, and you like go back in time in that way. Like, not just because of the magical powers and stuff like that, but also in the way that you work from the final moments and then to the semi-final moments and just like go backwards in that way, and that's a very cool way to do it, and that's a way to unfurl the narrative in a very calm and composed manner, in a way that the developers wanted, and how they wanted you to find the fates in a specific order. And yeah, that's very cool. They control the pace of the narrative excellently. The game is actually pretty short, but I did take like a decent amount of time. If I'll check how long I took, I should have opened this earlier. It looks like Obra Dinn took me like 10 hours to beat, which that is a lot. That is a lot more than it should have taken, but that's because I'm bad. And that just tells you how much there is narrative to go through, because I got everything correct, so, you know, I had to do a lot of work there, but I enjoyed it all the time. And the fact that you can also, like, there's a lot of, you can just quit whenever, just take a break, and that's also like a huge plus. So I know that's not always a case in games, so, you know, autosave isn't a thing always, but it is here. So yeah, Obra Dinn. Is it worth the accolades? Very much. There's a unique sort of drive to the game, and I cannot say that I've ever experienced a game quite like it, nor have I seen even hints at games that are something like that. And I've played a lot of time travel narratives and time travel structures, and even some time travel detective games, and even in those it's nothing even close to this. So yeah, Obra Dinn, a unique, fantastic masterpiece. Now on the outro, but wow, that I spoke so much more than I expected to speak. I'm not gonna keep you here longer. I thank you all very much for watching. Next month I am not sure how much I'm gonna get done, because there's certain obligations that will be keeping me busy, but I'm gonna go back to making videos once again, just like more longer form videos. Now if I could finally get that one video out, that's something I've been working on constantly, but hey, sometimes we're busy. Mostly real life stuff has been doing stuff for me, so, you know, it happens. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. Can move out. Thank you very much for watching.